Hi guys, this is WalaoehTV and you're cooking with Micho. It's a sugar rush of all sorts in this recipe. Sticky sugared walnuts with a sticky orange blossom sugar syrup. A fantastic dish for those celebrating Ramadan and anyone that needs a sugar fix. So these are our ingredients. So we start off with 1 kilogram of plain flour. We actually need to weigh the flour and all of our ingredients to actually ensure that the pastry comes out right. This is 425 grams of ghee. It's just a milk fat. It's available in most grocery stores or Middle Eastern delis. So we mix just the ghee and the flour together. We will add a little bit of water at a time. So we just judge it based on the consistency. It needs to stick together and not actually crumble, yet it has to be a little bit just a little bit crumbly like this. So you should be able to knead it with your knuckles and then press it down, and it doesn't actually fall apart. You can see you can lift it up and then press it down again. Press it down and then separate it into 4 or 5 little balls like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that to rest for about half an hour while we work on the walnut mix. So roll them all up. It's okay if they stick together a little bit on your tray. Do that, and then basically we'll do the walnut mix next. So the best thing about this recipe is that you can actually fill it with any type of nuts. The tradition is to actually use walnuts, but you can fill it with pistachios or almonds or pecan. Crush it up, as you'll see in the next step. So when we prepare the walnuts, we actually want a coarse mix. We don't want a fine powdery walnut. So just a few seconds in the blender and you'll end up with a coarse walnut mix. If you don't have one of these blenders, you can just use a knife and then chop the walnuts up into very fine pieces. You put them into your bowl, and we're going to use about 3/4 of a cup of sugar. This part is entirely up to you how much you use. The sugar inside the pastry is not as important as the syrup that's on the outside, which you'll see later. It's about 1/2 cup of orange blossom water. What you want to do with this mix is that you still want to be able to pick up a handful and it not crumble and fall apart from your hands. So give it a taste and see if it's actually tasting quite nice. You can add more sugar or orange blossom as you please, and just get ready to do the dough next. So with the dough, we want to roll it out to about a 1 millimeter thick dough. So what we're actually going to use as a guide is actually the table that we're rolling on. This dough you can actually see through. So once you can see whatever's underneath, that's enough. So basically it's about 1 millimeter to 1.5 millimeter thickness. So once you've done that, cut it up. You can do that one by one, or if you want to prepare them all at once, it's okay, because you can re-ply this dough and then roll it out again. So fill it with your walnut mix and basically crimp it together at the top. We're going to make little purses, and you'll see how we actually crimp it, and it's quite an interesting technique. We're just basically going to fold the edges to make it look like a little purse. So prepare your trays and crimp them like so. There is another video that I've done that you can actually see this in slow motion. It's just basically folding over. Because this dough is quite pliable, it won't actually undo itself. So press them out and then basically fold like so. So this is what you should end up with on your trays. Bake them in the oven for about 15 minutes. We don't want them to actually go too dark or overcook. So put them in your orange blossom syrup for a few minutes and let them drain in a colander. So basically all you have to do is bake, dip in the sugar syrup, the sugar and orange blossom syrup, and let them drain in a colander. When you're actually putting them onto the tray, back onto the tray for eating or for serving, you can actually put a few layers on top of each other. The pastry won't break or crack. There you have it, a traditional Middle Eastern sweet that will get you bouncing off the walls. This is WalaoehTV and you're cooking with Micho. If you have any comments or feedback, please leave them below, and we'll see you next time.